Coming from the Caveman Studios in Buffalo, New York. Welcome to Caveman Corner with your host, Jeff.
Captain Caveman!
Thanks.
Click subscribe and the bell. Do it now!
I'm here with one of my most anticipated bouts of the K4 Art of Combat World's Collide card, Josh Reichardt and Travis Ruvolo. How are you guys?
Great. How about you?
I'm doing excellent, man. I'm so happy to have you. Like I was saying in the green room, like I love both of you guys. I think Travis, you're one of the toughest guys in K4. Josh, you've shown your mettle and your heart and your ability to stand up, your ability to grapple. Like you've proven yourself in the K4 cage over and over again. Travis, you haven't really got the opportunity to prove yourself in the K4 cage yet, but man, that time is coming and I can't wait. You have proven that you might be one of the toughest people I know. That Kimura was one of the sickest things I've ever seen that you didn't tap. Like you battled out with everybody, like you never quit. Like for you to stop, like people have to put you out, or like the referee has to come in there. So, dude, I love your heart. So I just wanted to welcome both of you guys on, and I thought your fight is probably one of the most interesting ones on the card. So before we got anyone else, I wanted you guys to be the first ones on. Awesome.
Appreciate
All right. So with all that nice stuff being said, I'm going to turn it over to Josh. Josh, this is a 140-pound MMA fight. How do you guys see this fight? How do you see this fight going?
I mean, naturally, I think I'm going to win. If I wouldn't take the fight if I didn't think I was going to win. So, I see it going, just me going in there, doing my thing, and getting the job done.
And then Travis, how do you think the fight's going to go?
I think I'm going to win. I don't go in there planning to lose, that's for sure. But I'm going to do whatever I can to win.
I agree. 140 pounds. This is the lightest you're going to be in your career, correct, Travis?
Yeah. I haven't been 140 pounds since 10th grade. I'm right there, though. I'm not off. I'm 145 pounds right now. So I'm there.
How do you feel with the weight cut?
It's not too bad. Well, I kind of, I had that little 4-month break right there. So I let myself get up to about 160 pounds. As soon as I heard about the fight being booked at 140, I cut everything out. All clean. This is the cleanest I've ever eaten in my whole life. And I dropped down from 160 all the way down. Like today, I woke up at 145.6, what I was when I woke up. And that's not starving. I eat chicken regularly. Electrolytes, water. That's about it, really. There's not much more.
How do you feel about this weight, Josh? This is like about where you typically fight between 35 and 45. You fought both. I think you fought 55 too, right?
Yeah, I started off at 55. 140 was great. I was originally looking for a 135er. Couldn't really find anything, so found out about this at 140. I was like, sweet, an extra 5 pounds. And yeah, I've never had a problem making 35. 45 is easy. 40 is pretty easy too. I fought at 140 a couple times, couple catchweight bouts, and actually he's a little bit lighter than me right now.
That's awesome. So both you guys, neither one of you guys thinks weight's really going to be a factor in this fight?
No, I'm used to cutting.
The closer it gets. For me, anyway. I'm down there. I'm 145.
I've had like 14 fights, never missed weight, so it's just part of the process. I got a whole system down, so.
Yeah, only Josh's opponents miss weight.
Yeah.
Nate, I'm doing a podcast, so shh.
8 interrupting us.
Yeah, he's raised yelling at his kid. Going into this fight, I would say that you definitely have the advantage, and like the write-up said, like you're a lot crispier with your striking. Your striking is a little bit more tactical, a little bit more on point, and I think Travis has a little bit more power. What do you think plays better into MMA? Do you think it's technique, or do you think it's power? I'm going to start with you this time, Travis.
Yeah, power's nice, but technique's good. Technique's better, I would say. I would go with technique, but power's great. You can have power all you want. You just gotta know how to use it, right? I would say technique over power.
Right. Do you believe in my assessment? Do you think that Josh is a little bit better striker, or do you think you're technical?
I watched a few of his clips. Yeah, he's got some crispy punches. Yeah, I seen him. I watched a couple of them. Yeah. I know the one, a couple of against. I believe it was Cheek. started swinging a little wild. I got a little excited, chasing something. I was throwing wild there, but I've been working on that.
Yeah, I would. So my assessment of you, obviously anyone can do the same thing because they can watch your fights. It's not like they're secret, and it's not like they're training partners. But you tend to get wild in your fights, and to me, like it adds a lot of power because you open your hips, you turn over, and you drop cheek, like you drop them pretty clean. You do have a lot of power, but you seem to throw wild quite a bit, and I don't know. You like take shots pretty well, unless it's the T bomb. But man, no one can take the T bomb. So I'm just like I don't know. Like I was making sure that my assessment was okay. I don't want you to beat me up later.
No, it's good. It's on point. I've been working on that. Yeah, working on
Awesome.
that straighter.
And then same question, you Josh. Obviously we throw down with each other quite a bit, so we know each other's striking style a little bit more in depth. I would say that I saw in that Dorian Gordon fight that you were not moving your head at all. I still want to know whether that you did that on purpose because you just totally didn't respect his power, or just because like I don't know, like you don't move your head.
He did it
I know the real answer to it, but I need to ask this on the podcast. And then like you showed no head movement in Skylar, but there was no really feet fighting with Skylar anyways, and then he just tapped out. So
Yeah. Well, to answer your first question, definitely technique, I think overshadows power, especially as the fight draws on. You're going to get tired as it goes. Power is going to fade, so always going to go with technique there. That being said, power is a little bit different when someone's coming down from a different weight class, so I got to respect that. Can't be throwing wild, don't want to get caught, especially in the 4-ounce gloves. So I'm on point with that. I've been working a lot of my striking recently over like the last year. I think that Dorian fight was over a year ago, last May. So coming up on that point. To answer your question about the head movement, a little bit of both. I'm not trying to really talk too smack about Dorian because I like him. However, he was coming up in weight. I had a lot more experience than him. I saw the way his coaches taught and everything. So I wasn't really respecting a lot of his power. I know I have a great chin too. I spar with a lot of guys a lot bigger than me. As far as like size, I'm probably the smallest in my gym with my main training partners. So I know I can take a shot. If you watch back all my fights, I don't think I've really been rock, drop, or nothing. When I lose in kickboxing, it's by like decision or something, and I can't. Last time I think I lost in kickboxing was years ago. So I just wanted to put him away in the first round. That was my thing, just coming out swinging. I knew he was probably going to throw a lot of looping punches, so I just stood my ground and was just hitting him with straights.
yeah, and like he didn't move you at all. And as the fight went on, you just kept walking him down, and you like just gave him that look like people give you like when you can't touch me. And like I've always wondered in my head whether you were not moving on purpose just to like mentally break him, or you didn't care that he was hitting you, or maybe there wasn't power, or maybe you didn't have the ability to.
Yeah, no, I really just didn't care what he was going to throw back at me. I mean, you and I spar all the time. You see how I spar at the gym. I have that very, heavy pressure style. I like to come forward. Even if you hit me, I'm still going to come forward. I like to entertain people. I like to have good fights, good, exciting fights. So I just kind of like to, stand in front of people. I've been working on the head movement a lot. So even like I watch back my sparring clips, I'm looking like a little bit like a boxer in there. So one of my things I've been working on since last year.
Awesome. I like it. I kind of know you've been working on because I've been in there. I can't really say like it's not fair to you because we actually train. So like those things got to stay inside the room. We're not on the same team. We meet and we spar either at Buffalo United Martial Arts. They're there Saturdays at 1. Josh runs it, so he had me and a couple of my guys out. I really appreciate it. And then the other day I had cross training at my gym, and Josh came and we got to spar there too. So I've seen Josh a little bit in the last couple of weeks, and he's looking good. And Travis, you look like good too. Travis posts all his stuff online, so I see a lot of his work going on, and you look really good on the bag. Like if you look that crispy when you fight, man, things will be really good. I think this will be a great fight. Who do you think has a stand-up advantage in this fight, Josh?
I think I do. Like I said, I think technique beats power. No, not to say that he hasn't been working on his stuff, but I've seen clips. I've watched his fight film. I think that I'm, better in that area. Like I said, I still got to respect the power. Anybody can get clipped. You see it with fights on, UFC and all that all the time. So, but yeah, I think have the advantage in the stand up.
And then obviously same question to you, Travis.
I'm always going to bet on me. I'm not going to bet against me. But the difference is with Josh and everyone else I've fought, he's my opponent from the start. Everyone else it's been switched up. So I've been changing my style for everybody else, trying to fit.
I've been there. It's taking those last minute fights.
Yeah, this time I'm just coming in and doing my thing.
And you got someone
watch everything that he does. So I study look at the way he fights. But I'm going to still go in and do what I do. But last time, I'm always trying to move around for everybody else. My first fight was against Mason Lewis, so I had to adjust it, And every time, last fight, I was supposed to fight the one guy, Rowe, and it ended up being
Anthony Rowe.
I felt bad for you.
Then I had to change my little stance for Traxler, try to get low, stop taking.
That's a huge difference in opponent. No offense.
Yeah, that's a big upgrade
from championship level caliber guy to like first fight guy. It's
Right.
really like that huge of a difference. And there's a lot of respect for you for stepping on that fight. And this is one of the reasons why I like you, dude. Like you're not scared to bang with anybody.
Yeah, he fight anybody.
Like Josh, like I don't mean to compare your guys' careers. I know like you're fighting each other, but if you look at Josh started out, dude. Josh had the same thing. Josh fought like whoever they asked him to. He fought these super, super tough guys, man. Like everyone you fought was tough. Now you're fighting people your skill category, and now your skill category is like way higher than it was, right? And now you're beating these guys. Like so, you came from like that almost the same background as Travis, and now like you're in title contention, a co-main event for a K4. Like you've come like very far in your career,
Thanks, I appreciate that. But just like anything, hard work, determination, you make the adjustments, you learn from the losses, and then you come out on the other end.
Yeah, for sure. And I cannot. So I'm gonna say this, Josh. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I cannot wait to see you win in K4, Travis. Like of all the people I've ever wanted to see get a K4 win, it's you. And then when I saw you fighting Josh, I'm like, no, I can't root for either of you guys to win. Like it makes me sad on the inside because like I always want to go up and like smack your guy you're fighting before he goes out there or something, man. Like I want you just to finally get one because you gave so much for the promotion, and I appreciate it.
Whoever wins, whoever loses, I don't think it's going to matter because it's definitely going to be a banger for sure. So I've been battle tested. He's been battle tested. We both like to throw down, get in there. We both have great cardio. So I think the ultimate winner for this fight is honestly the fans.
I mean, we say that a lot in the podcast, but like very rarely is it true. It was true in the last fight that we set it for, and it's true in this fight too. I think the fans are going to win out on this one unless we get to the next part where I think you have a big advantage, unless we get into like some jiu-jitsu exchanges. So here's my concern for you, Travis. Josh has shown a pretty decent level of submission level finishes, like high level submission finishes, and I've seen you struggle in these positions. The good thing I would say is that your wrestling defense looked really, really good in your last fight, but like the grappling exchange is scaring me a little bit. How do you feel matching up grappling with Josh?
Well, I've been working on that a lot, the grappling, because it's not the grappling that really worries me. It's the bursts, keeping my lungs when in the grappling situations. I know there's a lot of energy. I've been trying to work on certain bursts at certain times, and I'm getting older, so I'm trying to keep it all in, But grappling, I wrestled all through high school, so the jiu-jitsu, it's newer to me, definitely is. But my defense, like you said, it's there. I keep them standing, stop the takedowns. Who knows? Throw a couple of takedowns in there myself. I've been wrestling. I've been fighting wrestlers, like good wrestlers, Mason Lewis, Traxler, the Kimura. But
yeah, no, like so you fought like very good level wrestlers. You shut them down for a little bit, but they've managed to get you down. That's why I think your wrestling is not as bad. Like for you, the level of opponents for you to shut some of these takedowns down, it shows me that you have decent wrestling, right? Like I don't think the wrestling is gonna be a problem. I'm actually interested to see how the wrestling matchup goes. I'm more worried about the submission aspect of it.
Yeah. No, I've been doing a lot because I had to take that little break from January till now, so I haven't really I had a couple of days off, about 3, but other than that, I've been just working, practicing.
We we were forced to grapple that whole time because you're not supposed to have head contact when you get
Yeah.
knocked out like that.
Yeah.
So like you spent a lot of that time grappling on. Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying for the commission, or is that what you're telling us for the podcast?
Yeah. Well, a little bit of both. I did both.
Cheers. Is he the
But no, I've been practicing.
Be careful what you say because some commissioners like to watch the show. So if you don't want to like don't spill the beans on like what you're doing when you're supposed to be suspended for sure. That
Right.
goes for anyone watching this podcast or comes on the podcast. We definitely have all the people that commission both fights watch this podcast, so you don't want to say
Oh
you're
yeah,
going
Tom's
against the
watching
commission.
right now.
Yeah, not only Tom, like everyone watches. Everyone watches.
Yeah.
Trust me. Same question to you, Josh. How do you feel like the grappling matchup is? Honestly, I feel like you have the submission advantage, but I want to hear what you think about the wrestling yourself too.
So yeah, I mean the grappling. Honestly, if you look back at every one of my MMA fights, I've shot for a takedown except for versus Traxler. So I'm pretty comfortable wrestling. I wrestled probably just as good as or better wrestlers than he has outside of Mason Lewis. I was able to take them down. It's MMA at the end of the day, so I know he wrestles. He'll probably end up trying to shoot, especially if I'm getting the best of him on the hands. And the submission game too, like I definitely feel like I have an advantage there. I've been honestly grappling my whole life, wrestled throughout middle school, high school, just like him. Went right into like jiu-jitsu. I considered myself early in my career more of a grappler versus striker. I switched when I went to Buma. I became more of like a striker over there. So I'm comfortable on the ground. I've competed in a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments. I've been training a lot of jiu-jitsu. My gym predominantly is a jiu-jitsu gym, so I have high caliber opponents to grapple with. My coach is a black belt. So if it gets to the ground and I see an opening, definitely got to look for a finish. If he ends up taking me down, gets the better of me wrestling, I'm comfortable setting up submissions, sweeps. But I also know that this is an MMA fight too. So especially being advanced rules, I got to be more careful about the ground and pound in those situations versus submissions.
Yeah, that was gonna actually be my next question. If Travis does end up on top, are you prepared for ground and pound? Because this is the first time that Travis is really gonna be able to use ground and pound too.
Mhm.
So I'm sure he's excited to put it on you.
Yeah, I'm prepared for it. So I fought a really good wrestler, I think like 2021, who took me down, tried striking me out from mount. He wasn't really successful. My defense was great from there. So I'm not really too worried about it. And honestly, with the striking too, I think it helps out my jiu-jitsu. He's going to load up for shots, and then I'm going to have those openings to get out, escape, set something up. So I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I have a good chin, and wherever the fight goes, I'm pretty comfortable. I think wrestling's probably a little bit even. Obviously, I'm confident myself. I think I have the better jiu-jitsu game. I think I have a better striking game, but I also respect his power. I respect the caliber of opponent he is. I know he's fought some dogs just like me, so I think it's going to be a good fight.
I'm gonna turn this back to you, Travis. Now that you can finally ground and pound, like I think if you could ground and pound, you would have beat Cheek. I know, like it's a,
Yeah, he was
go
winning
back
that fight. That's a really good fight. So
yeah, I really think he was dazed when he went down. I think if you could have got on top and finished him, I think that would have been your first win. I think the novice rules really hurt you. I don't really particularly like the novice rules, and now you get to fight with full ground and pound. Do you think that's gonna change the outcome of your ground ability?
Yes, it's definitely gonna. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I tell people that all the time. Even people, they'll talk about that fight all the time. Why didn't you hit him on the ground? I said, there's rules. There's no rules now. So it's gonna be different. The rules I knew that we couldn't strike on the ground. You'd see like first fight Mason Lewis, when you take it down, we were just there on the ground. You knew you couldn't get hit. You can't do nothing. Zach Cheek, when we were down on the ground, I knew I couldn't get hit. So, but now it's ground and pound. So I'm not gonna be like, okay, it's gonna be, yeah.
I like it. And do you agree with my assessment on jiu-jitsu, or do you think that maybe I'm wrong? Like, I don't want you just to agree with me. I'm the host, but you're the fighter, man. You say whatever you want to say. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Like I could be totally wrong. I've only seen you in there with like some very seriously good people, man. I haven't seen you in there with like who knows?
No, I haven't been doing jiu-jitsu that long. He's definitely got the experience on me. Yeah, without my mind, yeah. But it's not that bad either.
That's good.
It's just not great yet.
It'll get better. All
With time.
right. You both said you have good conditioning, and I do think that this fight is not going to make it 3 rounds. I do think that we'll see a finish in this fight. I don't know who's going to get the finish, but I can't see this one going 3 rounds. I mean, I could see it going 3 rounds, but I don't think it's going to. I do think there's going to be a finish. So I think there's going to be a high output. And is your cardio ready for like a high output? You already talked about earlier, like those bursts get you tired. Are you ready to go 9 minutes of like almost full burst activity?
Yeah, no, I learned in 2016, the very first time I ever that fight, I learned real quick about lungs. And then when I started again against Mason Lewis, I could feel the lungs. But that's one thing I've always been worried about after that first time. In my head, I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. I couldn't breathe. I work on that all the time. I don't run much. I run about a little over a mile every day. And then I just cardio first, cardio last. Always doing cardio because I can't breathe. You can't fight, you know?
I learned with that
2016. No, that will never happen again. But it's also with those bursts in practice. You go on steady, then quick burst, and you stand up. You're like, whew, you know. So I've been working on that a lot.
All right, I'm gonna turn this question over to you, Josh. I see your social output of how often you run. I know you're doing all your running. How do you think your cardio is?
I'm a cardio king, dude. I got it anywhere. So, like him, I suffered a loss early on due to cardio. Never allowed that to happen again. Know about muscle endurance, know about strength and conditioning. I get the work in every class 2-3 times a day. So I can go for 25 minutes, honestly. I ain't worried about it. And, tired's a state of mind. If we're going for 9 minutes, high output, I'm going. Ask all my sparring partners. I'm in front of their face the whole time, regardless if I'm winning, losing, I'm pushing that pace. So I'm comfortable. I run 3 to 5 miles a day. I hit pads. I do grappling. I do 30 minutes of rolling after class. I work on my muscle endurance too, because, it's not just the lungs, it's the muscles. The bigger you are, if you're strong, your muscles going to give out too, especially in those grappling exchanges. So, and I've been doing it for years. Like, this isn't anything new. So I think those compound effects are going to show off greatly.
Well, since I'm one of your training partners and you said ask your training partners, I feel free to say that your cardio is pretty good. Like, you said it right out loud. You're laughing at me, Ray. But like we did 23 rounds the Saturday that I was in there at Buma, and I think we were the only two that did every round. I'm not sure that that's true. I don't. If someone else did all the rounds, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure it was just me and Josh, because I think there's one round where just me and you went. So I think that it was I think it was only me and you that did all those rounds. So I too pride myself on cardio. I think that's one of the most important things. And I would say that your cardio is tested and improved in the practice room. Like, in your practice room, your cardio is set to go, and it can be different on fight night. But I would say that you put in all the work you ever need to put in to have cardio to go unlimited bursts for 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's the greatest weapon you can control. So, some people have a good chin. You can't really control that if you have a good one, bad one. Attributes, if you're shorter, longer, you can't control that, but you can definitely control your strength or conditioning, and I make sure that all that's on point. So
yeah, I like it. And Travis, I've never seen you tired in a fight either. And man, you've been in some wars. For you not to be tired is that's a true statement. Like, Mason Lewis is just sucks the life out of people. You see the guys he fights, his will, and you were like the same the start to the finish, like you didn't change at all in your output.
No, I definitely cardio every day. Yeah.
I'll be back in 1 second.
All right. Perfect. It's just us, Travis. Let's talk some junk about Josh while he's gone. No, I'm just kidding. You can talk some junk while he's gone if you want. He's probably listening though, so be careful. I'm excited to see you guys go. I got some questions about the venue and being a Oh, all right, perfect. You're back. So both you guys have fought in Art of Combat. Both you guys have fought in K4. Since you make the posters, I got this question: there's a K4 side on the poster and an AOC side on the poster? How did you decide who to put on which side?
So yeah, I went back and forth with that for when I was designing it, mainly because originally I didn't know if how it was being set up, if Eric was going to get like a bunch of guys that he knew that fought on Art of Combat before versus K4. Didn't materialize like that. So honestly, when I do it, I just set it up based on the pictures that are submitted, who looks best on what side. So I haven't been doing the other way because lately when I've been seeing the matchups, a lot of people have been K4 veterans. So I just put it based on, okay, this person looks a little bit better over here versus over here.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just wondering. I believe that he has more K4 fights than you, correct?
I've had 3.
How many you got, Travis? You got 4, right? Or are you at 3 as well?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah,
4
he's
and
got
1
4.
Art of Combat.
But the one dude pulled out on fight day.
Yeah. And then you have more Art of Combat fights, right?
Yeah, I have 2.
That's pretty crazy.
It's my very first one.
Yeah.
I like that competition though. They pick really good venues. Even though it's like considered more of like a smaller town than Buffalo, every time I've gone out there, it's been great, professional. I've liked their setup, like their cage, like their production. Both times I fought in Art of Combat, they had Dan Mergliotta out there roughing the fights. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So your coach is one of the Art of Combat guys. Your coach is one of the K4 guys. How does is there like some bad blood spilling between the coaches too, or are you guys like friendly? Like how is it breaking down in the gyms at home?
Keith hasn't told me anything, but you know him. He's pretty quiet and reserved with his life. Eric, because I think I tagged the Art of Combat in one of my posters, and he messaged me like, saying, hey, thanks for taking the fight, whatever. So I'm pretty cool with Eric. So everything's been professional on our end over here. I don't, can't speak for them, but my one interaction with Eric, and actually, well, all of them, he's always been nice, even during this whole fight versus promoter thing.
How about you? How do you feel about Travis? Has anything been a little bit
I haven't.
there?
No, they never told me anything. No.
I hope there wouldn't be bad blood. Then that's going to be, a little bit of a problem on the event.
Well, no, they just be like, show them what Art of Combat's all about. Show them what K4 is all about. Like since you guys are like directly fighters underneath the guys that own the gym, so like I thought that was another cool aspect of this matchup.
I'm sure there's gonna be bragging rights on the line, when they talk to each other, like, oh yeah, my guy won or whatever. So definitely gonna get it done, a little bit for Keith too. Can't make him look bad.
Yeah,
I'm sure
like
about him and his coach. So
if I owned or I was running one of the events, if I was either Eric or Keith, I'd be like, yo, I got some money in it for you if you really
actually
put this
I have
that way.
a question for Travis. Is Eric gonna corner you for your fight? Because
No.
I know you guys are like a smaller gym, so I don't know if you have like a bunch of other options.
Yeah, no. We were actually talking about that Friday. No, he won't be cornering me. No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Which puts both of us honestly at a disadvantage because we're not going to have our head coach there.
Right.
But I do like the fact that it's they just kind of keep to the business side on fight night.
Yeah.
I have really mixed feelings about this. So like I think it's a huge disadvantage for you guys to fight on your card when you can't have your coach in your corner. I think it is a big disadvantage. And like for this in particular one, I think it's awesome because it's fair. Like I thought if it was all Art of Combat guys against all K4 guys, that'd be super cool because the owners could actually corner their guys because there would be no preferential treatment, because it was all 50-50 now they could corner each other. So when I first heard about it, I thought I was kind of hoping that's how it would be. And I thought that would be so cool, and I thought it was going to be like a real like Pride versus UFC kind of thing. But it's still a cool card, but like that was my whole envision of the event. But it makes me happy to know that neither one of you guys doesn't make me happy, but I'm happy that it's an even playing field for both of you guys.
Yeah, and honestly, that's something that's never really bothered me either. I work a lot with my coach during camp, so I coach myself. So at that point, I mean, for the most part, I know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, the game plan that he puts into me. And then on top of that too, having Joe Hacken in my corner is a pretty, good option too. Black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's our assistant Muay Thai guy, so he knows everything that we've been working in camp. So I'm comfortable having him in my corner. And then, one of my other teammates too. So when it comes fight night, I know what's expected of me, what's to be done, and how it's going to unfold. And, I think early on in someone's fight career, that's important. But as you gain more experience, you know a lot more, so you generally can make those adjustments on your own.
Yeah, how do you feel about Travis?
Yeah, I know I'm all right. We still got Paul. Corey's going to be in the corner with me. Corey and Paul, that'll be in my corner. And Paul's the other coach, so I'm okay with it.
Corey's not on the card?
No, he's going to be cornering me this time.
Man. See, like me and Ray, we don't get all the breakdowns because we spill the beans a little bit too easy. So Keith don't keep me informed because I leak it out, and then so I actively work to see who's fighting where. So now I know Corey's not on his card. Yet you never know because
you're good with this one. I knew about this one a couple weeks before it was announced.
Right.
I did because you spilled the beans, but I still couldn't say it. So
that's what I mean. You did good this time.
Yeah. Well, that's because it's different. Like Keith doesn't tell me; I just hear when he's talking about it. So, and then I'm like, "Ooh, I heard." This time you directly told me, so I couldn't. I just couldn't say it because you're the one that told me. So, then I would know. And then once I saw Travis posting too, I was like, "Oh, all right, maybe I can talk about it now." But I still didn't really talk about it. I like to find out and then spill the beans. It's kind of like our little game that I play with Keith. I don't think he likes it so much. I don't think he really thinks it's a game, but I find out the fights and then I spoil him. And I know sometimes before you get the poster done, then you got to rush and get the poster done. So that makes me happy sometimes.
I'll send him the posters a couple weeks ahead of time, and he takes forever to put them out sometimes. I had to yell at him this time. I'm like, dude, your fight's in a month. You got to start promoting this.
Yeah, I agree. I like to I think it's good for the fans that I do what I do too. And I'm like, ooh, I heard this guy's going to fight. And then people talk to me and then I post about it. And then people are like, yeah, we're going to fight. I think it helps sell the show. I want to know as far in advance as possible. I know it's for the promoters. They're like, oh man, what if we lose that fight? But so what? You still want then at least everyone still knows you got the show.
Exactly.
I
then get the fans behind it too. My last one was Skylar. I had a lot of people that I didn't even know were rooting for me, message me just because the buildup of that, all the trash talk, whatever. So it gets the fans excited too, and gives them something to look forward to come fight night versus just, oh, I don't know who these two guys are, but if you've been following them on social media for 6 weeks, you oh yeah, these guys have been going back and forth. I want to see this.
Especially with me and Ray, because Ray will put a funny picture up and put someone's wrong face over it. And
the memes.
Fat jokes. Yeah, Ray's all about selling the fights. Thanks.
Yeah, especially to this 765 guys. I like to make
money. Yeah, they all suck. I was just kidding.
I don't think any of them are on this event this time either.
They're not. At least Skylar said they're not. But Skylar said they were on last time, so I don't believe anything he says.
Yeah. Pretty sure they had 3 pullouts fight week or something.
Yeah, enough to make it shitty. How do you feel? You for most of your fights, Josh, you've been the hometown hero. You've been a favorite. You had loud crowd pop, whole crowd's there for you. I imagine it's going to be the opposite when you go to Art of Combat, since you're really fighting in Travis' backyard.
My people travel, so 3 hours might be their point, but it doesn't really bother me too much. I mean, obviously, I like fighting in my own backyard. I fought in Rochester a few times where wasn't the favorite. Went down Art of Combat a couple times. I'd say it was probably neutral down there, so it doesn't really bother me. My fans and supporters will be watching on the pay-per-view. I know that. I'll get all the love and support via social media, phone calls, text messages after, before. And then when I'm in the fight, I don't really think about the crowd, none of the noise, whatever. I try to entertain a little bit, but I'm just, tunnel vision, focused on the task at hand, not what people are cheering or booing, whatever. I actually kind of like the fact that I'm going in enemy territory. Haven't done it in a little bit. And, if people boo me, great. If they cheer for me, great. I'm still putting on a show regardless.
I was wondering if that would affect you because I know the last two times I've seen you fight, and like where I felt like you performed really well, you were performing a little bit for the crowd, especially in a Dorian fight where you're just like eating no shots, kind of like giving them that look. And then in the Scholar fight, when you finally achieve mount and you're about to punch him down right before he taps out,
Yep.
you give the crowd that little look, and then he taps before you can hit him. But like,
I do that in sparring though too. Like I was getting rounds in today, got hit with a combo, and I'm right in front of my buddy's face, like, let's go. I don't know. It's like a mental state for me. Yeah. I listened to MVP talk about his fight recently, like how he gets to make this his own. It's kind of the same thing. So, when you're doing a good job sparring, you're touching somebody up, you're feeling yourself, you're feeling good, you're feeling confident. And then I recently took a Muay Thai seminar with Luke, the chef Lisi, and he really, stressed, putting a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of showmanship in there, to kind of get the crowd in. So I like to do that. It sells fights, makes me a little bit more entertaining. And honestly, the more entertaining you are, the more opportunities you're going to get, especially in amateur. Promoters love that because it sells tickets. And the more tickets you sell, the more matchups you're going to get, more opportunities you're going to get. So it's just kind of like a style for me. It's like an identity.
I got you. So it's not really for the crowd. It's really like, so it's a split between who you really are and it's a business move both at the same time.
Yeah.
As opposed to like performing for the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I'll do that inspiring with 3 people in the gym versus 400 or 1,000, whatever. So just like to add my little twist to it.
I just like everyone to look at me. I love it when I'm sparring and everyone's watching. So I
some
try
people
and bleed
don't like
more.
that. I mean, I perform under pressure, so it's something I had to develop to get there. Early in my career, I struggled with a lot of nerves, a lot of anxiety, read a few sports psychology books, and it really kind of turned things around for me.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to turn it over to you, Travis. You've been walking into enemy territory every time I've ever seen you fight. Now you're going to be fighting at home. You're going to have the hometown team cheering for you. Hopefully it helps you out in the scoring a little bit, no matter what the judges say. When they can't tell if a punch landed clean or not, and they hear the crowd go, "Whoa!" That always seems like that punch scores. Like it I don't think it's actually even wrong. It's just something that you get for selling a lot of tickets. It's something that happens. The judges don't incorrectly call something because of the crowd, but the crowd pop on a shot. Like if you can't see the shot quite cleanly because you're at the wrong angle, and the crowd cheers, you're gonna think it landed because the crowd. Why would the crowd cheer? And I think you're gonna actually have this advantage going into the fight. Maybe not. Maybe Josh's fans will travel, and if they do travel, man, I'm be super proud of you, Josh, because you're really selling tickets. Like 3 hours out, if you can sell more tickets than a hometown guy, woo-wee! I have to get some kind of bonus
for the challenge.
Yeah.
Hear that, everybody? You got to come out.
Yeah. If you get a louder pop, maybe we got to get you some kind of Caveman's Corner bonus award. I'm not gonna.
I'm going for that bonus regardless.
Yeah, I'm only gonna give one bonus out this contest, guys. This is a 3-hour trip for me. I actually lose money giving away money. So unless I get a bunch more money coming in, I'm only gonna give away one performance of the night bonus because it's gonna cost me a decent amount of money this time to come out and go, and things are a little bit tighter. But back home, and it's all K4. It'll be all back to our 4 bonuses again. But this is like a split show. Yeah, but this is a separate bonus. This is like a bet. This is like a DraftKings bet. This is not a bonus bet. So if you get a louder pop, I got $50 for you then, Travis. This has to be judged not by you though. So Ray, you're gonna be the official judge for this one. All right, because I can't judge it because of my money. Josh can't judge it because of his money. Travis is emotionally invested in it. I don't trust him either. So like you're the one that's gonna have to judge it.
Okay.
All right. So Travis, you gotta help me out. You gotta sell some tickets, brother.
I got you. I you know what? I've been on that already. I've been working on it hard trying to get a crowd down there. Believe it or not, it's about the same. It's 3 hours from where I'm at to the Nexus Center, same as Buffalo. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh man.
I usually have some people come down with me to Buffalo, but I got a bigger crowd coming down with me this time because I'm considered the hometown guy this time. I
have not tried to GoFundMe for the fight bonuses.
We got to get him a sponsor. Who owns a business that's watching this?
Yeah. The fight bonuses, they come out of this right here. I come out of this thing, my wallet here, and I just pull out the money and then I give it to you guys. That's
Ray, we
usually
got to
how it
work the
works.
Macy's pizza plug.
Yeah, we could definitely use. And Ray always says he's gonna give me some money. Ray always says he's gonna give me some money, and Ray's given me money at one event so far. But I did appreciate the one event he gave me money for it. Ray's always like, "We'll split it. We're Caveman's Corner. We'll split it." And I'm like, "All right, I got you, Ray." And then then I give it away. But that's okay. I think it's really important to do that and do it for a favor for Keith and for K4 for having me. And I will always continue to do that as long as we're in, a completely K4 card. I don't want to like jazz up all the other cards. So if you bring me out, I'll give away bonuses too. But I need you guys to bring me out, not Keith. All right. So we went through all the razzle dazzle. We're talking about selling tickets. How do we get tickets? How do you guys get credit for the tickets? We'll shoot it to you guys for this.
Honestly, I don't know if they're doing promo codes for this one. I haven't really asked too much just because it's kind of out of town, but I do know that the tickets, there is a QR code on the poster. You can scan that. There's a link going around from just go to K4 Art of Combat, follow the link, go through there. If there is a promo code, definitely plug it. It's probably our last name. But he might know more about that than me.
All I know, I just shared the link. That is all I know.